Welcome to the speaker tutorial on audiovisual tips and tricks. We're going to share with you some audiovisual tips and tricks that can help enhance your presentation. Our goal is to provide you with some basic pointers on utilizing audio and video during your session. If you're needing specific conference details, for example, conference maps or hotel registration, check your inbox for email messages, and don't forget to check out the conference website for event logistics and frequently asked questions. In this tutorial, we'll cover session room setup, provided AV equipment, using audio and video clips, preparing everything you'll need ahead of time, testing audio and video elements, and testing them again, having a backup plan, amplification and other requests, session handouts, and session evaluations.
While we would love to offer a variety of seating for more effective adult learning environments, CUPA-HR also has to prepare enough seating for each of our conference attendees. Session rooms will be set theater style in most cases, though some larger rooms may be set in a combination of classroom seating and theater seating. Unfortunately, we cannot accommodate requests for specific room sets. However, you are welcome to encourage your audience to move and group chairs as necessary. Rooms will always be reset to their original orderly seating after a session's conclusion. Depending upon size, rooms will accommodate an audience as small as 40 or as large as 180. CUPA-HR provides a standard AV set in all session rooms. We provide 2 wireless lavalier microphones and 1 wireless handheld microphone. To ensure top sound quality, CUPA-HR will not add additional microphones to your session room. Adding additional microphones will compromise the sound quality and lead to obnoxious, often painful audio feedback. If your session features more than 3 presenters, 2 should wear the lavalier microphones for the entire presentation, and the remaining presenters should pass the wireless handheld microphone among themselves as needed. CUPA-HR also provides 1 LCD projector and projection screen, with PC-compatible cables to connect to a laptop. If you're using an Apple product to display your presentation, you must provide the appropriate adapter cables to connect to a PC-compatible LCD projector. So those are the standard items found in every session room, but CUPA-HR can also provide the following upon your request. Flip charts and markers. CUPA-HR is happy to place flip charts and markers in your session room. You must let CUPA-HR know if you want to add flip charts and markers, and also share the quantity you want to add. Remember though, in larger session rooms, audience members seated at the back of the room will not be able to see writing on a flip chart placed at the front of the room. Sound for your computer. Do you need to have sound effects or audio broadcast from your computer speakers? If so, please tell CUPA-HR so we can ensure you have the proper equipment so your entire audience can hear the audio. Internet connectivity. If your presentation will rely heavily on real-time information from the internet or video clips, please consider adding wired internet connections to your session room. Unfortunately though, CUPA-HR cannot cover the cost of additional wired connections, so any wired internet costs will be billed back to you. CUPA-HR will have audiovisual technicians on hand to assist with your setup and ensure all equipment is working correctly. Should you have a problem during your session, the AV techs will be reachable via text message and will come to your session room to remedy the situation. Instructions for reaching AV will be available in every session room. CUPA-HR does not provide laptop computers. Seriously, you must bring your own laptop computer, loaded with your presentation, to the conference. Remember, if you're bringing an Apple laptop or any brand of tablet to run your presentation, you must bring your own adapters to connect to our standard VGA monitors and projectors.
Let's think about your presentation. Using audio and video clips can help engage your audience, but make sure you are using them appropriately. Audiovisual elements can enhance a presentation if they're relevant to the content of the session and if they play correctly. So whether you're playing short recordings to share testimonials, or using a short clip from a TV show or movie to demonstrate a technique or as an example, just make sure they support your presentation. Did you notice the recurring theme in the last section? That's right, short. It's usually better to only play the portion directly pertaining to your presentation, instead of longer blocks of audio or video that may not be so applicable. You'll want to make sure that you're preparing for the presentation well ahead of time. This doesn't just include getting your slide deck together or making sure that your handouts are ready to go. This also pertains to any audio-visual elements. For instance, if the clip is from the internet, it's a very good idea to make sure you have the clip saved as a file on your computer and have the file pulled up and ready to go as a backup should you experience issues with internet connectivity during your presentation. Remember, an irrelevant or improperly functioning audio or visual aid may serve as a distraction. Also, be aware of any appropriate copyright issues surrounding the use of certain materials. Be sure to test your clips while preparing your presentation once you arrive on site and in the concurrent session room in which you'll be presenting. Remember, downtime kills. While technical difficulties are an inevitable occurrence from time to time, try to avoid those awkward, frantic moments of fumbling with your laptop trying to get something to play by preparing ahead of time, testing your AV content, testing it again, and having a backup plan. Let's talk about your backup plan. So what if you prepared, tested again, and even had it pulled up at the beginning of your presentation, but then when you get to that point in the slides, your audio or video still just doesn't work? Your backup plan could include having a transcript of the clip or scene on hand and easily accessible. You could read an excerpt that highlights the main point that the clip would have otherwise depicted, or if appropriate, even act out the scene with your co-presenter, as if you're reading the lines. Another good idea is to have a summary prepared, as if you were going to explain to someone in 10 seconds or less what that clip or scene depicts. Or try asking for examples from the audience. Odds are, someone has an even better story than the one the clip would have shown. If all else fails, just move on with your presentation in as poised a manner as possible. With all this talk of audio and video, one thought might have come to mind. How will attendees hear my audio? Concurrent session rooms can be quite large. And while your laptop speakers may play your slow jams of the 1990s internet radio station loud enough to irritate your coworkers, they likely won't be loud enough to effectively play your clip for all session attendees to hear. You may request amplification, which will be preset in your session room, along with flip charts or other AV needs.
CUPA-HR will review session handouts to ensure your presentation matches your provided description. We will contact you if we have concerns about your handout materials. Please remember, the #1 complaint we see every year is this session did not match its description. It will lead to attendees rating your session extremely low on their evaluations. Don't let that be you. And for your convenience, CUPA-HR has built a PowerPoint slide template for our presenters, which is available on our conference website. To use this template, please follow the instructions on the slides. Concurrent session evaluation forms will be emailed to attendees during the conference. It's a great idea to include the session evaluation reminder slide, found in the conference template, to your presentation, and to remind attendees verbally to take a moment and complete their session evaluations.
This concludes the AV Tips and Tricks module of the Speaker Preparation Series. We hope you have found the information useful in preparing for your session.